Okay.
Boy, are you not going to get the movie you were advertised.
Oh, you were going to get something much more. You were going to get... Ooh, do I know how to pick them or what? Oh.
Okay, so every time we do one of these midnight screenings, we're always going to go with something. It's like one of like the Pure Flix films or something that we think is going to be crazy, and it's always an okay or even just boring, like nothing happens. And this movie we both thought was going to be just a run-of-the-mill, boring January movie, and it was fucking nuts.
Up until this afternoon, I didn't know what movie we'd be seeing.
Yeah, no,
I was like, well, Serenity's out. It's out in January, so it'll probably be just some forgettable.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
There's Kid Who Would Be King. That's supposed to be pretty good. There's some Dragon Ball thing out. And I'm like, I don't know. And then yesterday and today, I'm getting like, dude, see this now. I'm like. All right, so I'm like, dude, do you want to go see Serenity later?
I'm like, no, but after hearing that, hell yes.
After hearing this ringing endorsement, first of all, go see this movie. Please. Please support this film. Please support.
I feel like people are going to be talking about this regardless. I mean, I don't know if this is going to do well box office-wise, but people are going to be like, what the hell was that?
I hope you're in a crowded theater when you go see this, seriously. If you think that like Replicas is the craziest thing playing in theaters
you thought
right now,
the surprising Glass was like, what the hell?
You don't know what you're getting into with this movie. Like, if you're just going based on the trailer, and let me just tell you just like a spoiler-free plot of this movie, which the trailer does technically show, like just it doesn't show the madness that's about to unfold after it, but okay, so Matthew McConaughey lives on an island. He is a professional fisherman.
He's a professional Matthew McConaughey. Let's get this down. This is the most McConaughey you have ever seen. McConaughey.
Is drunk, chain-smoking, intense.
He's a hooker. I'm not kidding.
He owes a lot of money and everything, and
so he prostitutes himself.
He prostitutes himself to Diane Lane a few times in the film, and like takes all these drunk rich people out fishing. When we first see him in the movie, there's these two drunk guys on the boat. He's trying to catch this tuna. They're like, let me take that.
He gets out a knife. He's like, stand back,
stand back. I'm like, this escalated quickly. You look at me and you go, I now know why he chose this role. You are getting like chain-smoking, drunk, sweaty, naked several times, Matthew McConaughey.
Sometimes around a kid.
Okay, I'm really glad you said this, because when this happened... Alright, McConaughey, to set up the Matthew McConaughey naked with a kid in the ocean...
We're getting sidetracked so much already. That's how crazy this movie is.
That's not even the craziest thing that happens in this film. Matthew McConaughey is... You get a sense he's obsessed with catching this giant tuna, and you think maybe it had something to do with possibly his son, maybe?
Yeah.
But no. So at one point in the movie, his son is still alive in this film, but he clearly doesn't have a relationship with him and maybe hasn't seen him in a really long time. So at one point, McConaughey just strips down naked, jumps into the ocean off of a
shower.
cliff.
It's like, I gotta shower. And of course, him showering is going naked and jumping off a cliff.
It's high time in this film that I take my shirt off. And he jumps in this cliff where he is naked, and I think they digitally took out his penis.
I didn't know the term side dick was a thing, but there's side dick in this movie.
That looked like side balls with no shaft attached to it.
Well, it was very cold water, Brad.
It probably was very cold in there. But he's a fisherman.
He's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. That should not matter.
He should be used to significant shrinkage out in the middle of the ocean. And so he sees he has a vision of his kid in there. So you have this
also
scene.
Naked.
Yeah. You got a scene where if you're an usher at a movie theater and you walk in at this point, what you are seeing is Matthew McConaughey butt naked, swimming gleefully towards this young child. Like,
I leaned over, I'm like, what's this rated?
It's rated Bryan Singer. That's what it's rated.
So, and we're just trying to say the general plot. I'm sorry, it's so easy to get sidetracked on this movie.
It really is, man. Like, I'm trying to
How can you not?
I'm trying to get, like, the spoiler-free stuff out of it, so
we're trying. I'm sorry.
Really go... Shit. So, Anne Hathaway shows up as...
the femme fatale.
The femme fatale, who shows up in her ring. They put this digital glow on her wedding ring when
she goes like this. It just goes... Ping!
Like it's the Great Leslie's tooth. And so she walks into a bar, and she and McConaughey have a past relationship, and his son is hers. They had a son together. The son is probably maybe 12, lives with her back wherever, and she is married to Jason Clarke. Her and Jason Clarke are extremely wealthy. She looks like this, femme
she looks like Anne Hathaway.
Femme fatale movie star. Jason Clarke looks like a Miami Vice villain.
Yeah, he even goes to the beach in like the open shirt with the suit coat.
Yeah, he is playing the Bruce Willis villain from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
The episode Bruce Willis was on. That's Jason Clarke in this, and Jason Clarke is constantly drunk, drinking out of a flask,
beating the wife,
and everything, and beats the son too. And so Anne Hathaway has had enough of this and wants to, like a lot of movies like this go, she wants to pay Matthew McConaughey like $10 million to kill Jason Clarke. And Matthew McConaughey has reservations about it. He's obsessed with catching this tuna.
That's probably it for the setup. Like, that's what the trailer showed. Okay.
That is the setup.
All right, so I'll just say real fast, we'll say when we're going to get to spoilers, so don't worry. Because there's no way you can talk about this without going to spoilers.
It is impossible.
Yeah.
It is impossible to talk about.
I'll just give my general thought real fast. The first half of this movie is super over the top, like, Miami Vice, film noir, like, written by a 5-year-old, acted by how people think a 5-year-old wants them to act, in the best way. I was smiling ear to ear throughout it. My favorite line is like, the woman's paying Matthew McConaughey for his services. Yeah. And she goes, "You're nothing but a hooker." He's like, "A hooker who can't afford any hooks." I mean, it's like... That's what kind of movie this is. Yeah. And I was loving it. And then at some point, again, I think people know going in, it's a very standard plot. There's going to be a surprise. Mm-hmm. We won't say what it is yet, but a surprise is going to happen. I lean over. I think we both got it pretty early on, but didn't care, was having so much fun. The surprise is revealed halfway. Yeah. So then we're trying to guess what the next surprise is. Yeah. But we're like, all right, so it's halfway. What's going to happen now? After that, I thought it got a little dull. But that's also part of the fun too, because it's like, why the hell would a movie reveal this halfway? And it's just so bizarre. So while I'm watching the second half, I'm like, well, I'm not enjoying this as much, but just what a weird fucking move, and what a weird fucking movie to be doing this weird fucking thing. And when I was done, I was like, yeah, no, I still loved it. So that's good. And I am not a Matthew McConaughey fan, by the way. I'll just put it out there. And this, whether you are or not, this is like if they gave his persona in those Lincoln commercials a movie. Yeah. Like, is 100% his Lincoln persona.
Yeah.
So that's my general thought before we go into, like, spoiler. Without
I'm with you on that. Like, the movie actually never really got dull for me, but I mean, you're right. When it's revealed in the movie, the movie literally gets itself drunk and shows you its hand. And when it kept going after that, I was still really fascinated by it because they were playing this shit straight. Yeah. And you and I both did guess where it was going. Yeah. And we were right. So we did. It wasn't like when it was revealed, we were like, what? We saw it coming. But it's so insane that it's like if you were to fall face first into a ball pit where they've removed the balls and replaced them all with thousands of miniature live clowns and broken teeth, you see it coming. That doesn't make it less insane. Yeah. And that's this movie. Like, it's... I was trying to figure out throughout all of it, like, how did this movie happen? How did this look on paper? How are these people in this film? why does this exist? So here we should probably get into what is actually revealed about this movie.
Okay, so I mean, but you get the idea. We like it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to say it's like good,
No,
but it's like it's very entertaining.
This is like this is Winter's Tale. Like,
yeah,
this is that kind of insane. It is a sweet spot of insanity where it's ambitious. It has a big name cast. There's a lot of ideas on screen, and it reminds me of seeing a movie like Winter's Tale, where it's like I can't call this a success in the way it's intending, but it is successful in some regard.
Yeah, it's still entertaining.
You have got to see this movie. So please go see this before
if Glass was not the Shyamalan bad you're looking for, I assure you this is the Shyamalan bad you're looking for then.
The reveal of this movie.
All right, so this is spoilers.
This is where we're getting into spoilers. I don't even know how to set up the reveal.
It's St. Elsewhere.
Like, yeah. It's, that classic ending from St. Elsewhere. So, all right. Now, everything that we've seen, everything that's on this island with Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jason Clarke, all the fishing stuff, it turns out this is all this open world RPG video game, and
that the kid created, right? Or is it just a game
I think
online?
The kid. I couldn't figure out.
See, I think he created.
I think it's supposed. I think he created I think it's like a Second Life World of Warcraft kind of thing,
where kind of create your own story.
Created his own character to go along on these tasks. So this kid is getting beaten by his father or his stepfather, Jason Clarke, and the mother's Anne Hathaway, and through this video game he is fantasizing his revenge of using Matthew McConaughey, who's the kid's dead father. And Matthew McConaughey is this avatar in this video game in which the kid has rewritten the code of the video game to make it to where murder can take place.
Okay, so it's an existing game.
Yeah.
I thought he just made it up on his own.
Well,
which is even stranger, because you can prostitute yourself in this game.
Yeah, it's like
you can look at a woman's cat, her symbolic cat, in this game.
Yeah, it's like you're. It's like you're watching a movie like it sets itself up and advertises itself like Key Largo or Palmetto or
like a Hitchcock thriller,
a Hitchcockian thriller.
Like yeah.
And then halfway through, it just decides to be Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, because okay, so that's the twist. I mean, so that's and there's not another twist, right? Like I guess, and I leaned over. I'm like, well, okay, we got the fruit. What do you think the second one is? And they never give it to you.
I guess I don't even know if I'd call this a twist, but other than like McConaughey turning out to be like a kid's dead dad, but
but they already kind of said that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's very much like Snake Eyes, if anyone remembers that. Where halfway through they tell you what's going on, and it's like, but so that's where it got a little dull for me because I'm watching this like you said, they're playing it straight still, which is fascinating. Like I said, afterwards, looking back, I'm like, yeah, that is fucking weird, but it is like, because they're still playing it straight, I'm like, well, why do I care what's going to happen to these people? Oh. Like, if I didn't know that was a game, like that last, the climax of this movie would probably be kind of interesting, like legit suspenseful, but because I know, I'm like, I don't really care. They're not real. None of them are real.
I did, and here's why. Because describing everything that happens from this point on in the movie is insane. So in my head, I was like, how would you even describe this film that is about this kid who's a victim of domestic abuse rewriting the code in a video game to make it to where the character who's on this fishing mission will kill the avatar of the kid's abusive stepfather. But why I like where this happens in the movie, where it can at least go on for a little while longer, is because since that is against the rules of this video game, Matthew McConaughey figures out halfway to the movie what's going on because he gets the physical embodiment of the rules.
Oh, yeah, the rules, who's like this wormy guy who's...
Yeah.
No, he's the skinny guy.
He keep calling him the skinny guy.
This guy comes in a... He looks at everyone in this movie's a cartoon. So he comes in like this black suit, glasses, short haircut, always taking them off, wiping his glasses and going like that. He carries a briefcase and stuff. Everyone says, oh yeah, the skinny guy was looking for you. Like, why is that the thing you notice about this guy?
Yeah,
it's like, there's so many ways you could describe this guy, and he's always the skinny guy.
The guy in the black suit and glasses. Like,
the guy with the briefcase, the weird looking guy. Yeah. It's like, no, the skinny guy.
And like Matthew McConaughey opens up just like a world map of this island he lives in, like it is a video game.
It's this giant map, and there's just this little island and nothing else.
Nothing else in the film. So he gets the physical embodiment of this game drunk, and so the drunken, or the physical embodiment of the rules, he gets the rules drunk, and the rules tell him what's going on, and so it's against the rules to do this in this video game, to kill this guy. So then all of the other characters in this game are trying to stop McConaughey from doing this, where they're like, it's like Ed TV ended up in the Truman Show. Like,
it's the Truman Game.
Yeah, so like all of these non-playable characters are coming through. And
what game is this? It's like Grand Theft Fishing, where you can just go prostitute yourself. You can, go and talk to the bartender. You can you can have your say your co-sailor or whatever it is, like go and break some guy's hands and stuff. Like there's like a mob boss beating his wife. And like, what kind of fishing game is this?
It's Grand Theft Auto meets Heavy Rain with a little big mouth bass thrown in for the NES. Like,
I keep thinking the Mafia guy is like, he's like the Leisure Suit Larry game trying to enter into it.
Oh, kinda, yeah.
Maybe not them were the main character. Maybe the Leisure Suit Larry mob guy was like the main character. And then this other character's like, nah, I'm gonna kill Leisure Suit Larry.
Like Tommy Vercetti comes in from Grand Theft Auto Vice City, suddenly in this like fishing game that your grandpa would be playing, like it's a Facebook app game. So all of these characters are trying to stop this from, I guess, ruining their game. So they're giving him items that he should use to focus on the fish and to win the fish. Like, you should use this. Like, it's this magical item that will help you with this fish. No, I don't want to do that. And the Diane Lane earlier in the movie tells him like, oh, you should hire my son to be your to help you out on the boat. And then later, he just keeps magically showing up.
Yeah, he just appears. Like that. That was legitimately fun.
It was fun. He just keeps appearing out of midair.
And they keep coming up with these really convoluted excuses why. Yeah. Like that was like the only part I could think that was like intended to be funny was legitimately funny.
Yeah, like they're about to murder the Jason Clarke.
And he
on
just
the boat.
shows up like the kid from
guys!
He's like the kid from Bad Santa.
Yeah.
He just shows up and he's just like, hi, I really want to help you catch the fish, so I stowed away. I hope that was okay. and then I love it because like he's legitimately catching the fish and he's almost like, ooh, he tries to get it.
Imagine if one of the comedy's side characters in Jumanji 2 turned up in the last scene of Key Largo. Like, that is... Why... What is this film? And when all of this was... Because they are still playing this straight.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, you ever wonder why nobody knows anything in this island? Yeah, show you up his bounty. And count, by the way, if you do go see this, count how many times Matthew McConaughey laughs. How many times he just goes... like, I should have counted it. Somebody was going to lean over. It's like, can you start counting? And I was just like, but it's got to be like 10 times. Just somebody says something, he just goes...
The only way I could figure that this has a McConaughey in it, or Anne Hathaway, Jason Clarke, and these people in this film, I'm looking at it going like, how is this pitched to them? How did this screenplay read? Where is it based on a book, and is the book fairly decent? Like, so I'm like, how does this read where it's this film noir that becomes a video game movie halfway through? Like, how does it start like a Hitchcockian movie and turn into the Truman Show with a little bit of Crank thrown in?
Yeah.
How did this read? How was this sold? How was this pitched? And the only thing I could think of in my head was like, maybe they thought it would be more akin to something like Vanilla Sky or something like that.
I was saying if Black Mirror is like the open your eyes equivalent, this is very much the Vanilla Sky equivalent, because it's very, I think that's it. They're like, well, Black Mirror is big, and they do a lot of those twists and stuff like that, but I mean, this movie, clearly, God bless it, did not know how to utilize it, but that's part of the fun. You know, it's just that it's so fucking crazy. It clearly has its own really weird style. Like, Matthew McConaughey will just be walking and the camera will, like, for no reason, CG circle around him, like, like that, and and it's like, what was that about? Like, why did that happen?
It's like the movie had its own DVD skip.
Yeah, and same thing with Anne Hathaway. She comes in and just go, like that, and then, like, that kind of shot never comes in again. They never do it again.
It was just like, it wasn't consistent at all with that sort of, it was like a different director took over for just a couple seconds of the film.
I like to think the boy, too, is very much working out his sexuality, because how many times do you see McConaughey's ass in this?
He is.
You see a little bit of Hathaway, but you see a lot of McConaughey in this, so, and even swimming down to him, maybe he's just like, oh, and by the way, the boy's discovering he's
McConaughey likes taking off his shirt and stuff, so I could only assume that just means Matthew McConaughey reworked the code for this video game and decided that his video game character should be naked.
See, I like the idea that you never see what the father looks, because they show at the end the father looks like Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. I just like the idea of the kid just wants to be Matthew McConaughey or is in love with Matthew McConaughey.
Like he's got a poster.
Matthew McConaughey's my father. He's my father.
He's drinking Wild Turkey because of the commercials. I wish we saw more of this video game, in the sense that when the kid is working on it.
Yeah, it's like I keep going back and forth. I'm like, do I want to see that, or is it just funnier if I imagine it? I kind of imagine it's funnier. You know, like I said, even if you don't know, it's like, did this game exist and he rework it, or did he make it from the ground up? I just think either possibility is hilarious. And I think the more vague it is, the more funny it is.
You see a little at the end where the boat transitions into this kind of like video game graphics.
Yeah, and you see it reflected a little bit. You see him on his face too, but not much.
Yeah, and you see him designing the Jason Clarke character, but aside from that, the kid's just sitting there writing code on his computer. Mm-hmm. You know, this is insane. How is this something that we're talking about?
Well, I mean, I guess we can go to the moral of the story, I guess. You know, if your mother is being abused by this guy who's clearly done wrong, don't call the police or get the authorities involved. Make a game and then kill the motherfucker.
Put him in,
stab him to death.
But you put him in The Sims, you insert him into the swimming pool, and you take the ladder out.
Yeah. And then actually go and kill him, too. Because that's how it ends. I guess that's the other twist.
God, what if that happened in the film, where it's like, you just see, like, I don't know.
And that's like the happy ending.
Like, it's like he puts Jason Clarke in a room, takes out the door, and has him set off fireworks. They might as well, because it gets to the point to where all of the video game characters in it are trying to stop this murder from happening, to the point to where Jaimon Hunsu has Jason Clarke's hand broken so that he can't go on this boat and go fishing, and then Anne Hathaway seduces the broken-handed, beaten up Jason Clarke, like, you should find this fish for me, babe. He's like, oh, but my hand's broken.
Yeah, and what's that scene in the game? It's just like, would you like your mobster husband to attempt to choke you with his broken hands? Like, where is this in the game? Yeah. Why is this a scene where it's like, would you like that guy from Amistad to, give a backstory about his wife, and then you insult him about his wife? It's like, why is that a fishing game? That's before anything about murders or anything are mentioned. Like, that has to be in the game. Is that the dude from Amistad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
I thought, you mean the guy from Same Kind of Different as Me?
Yeah, dummy me, that obvious reference, yeah.
That was a Pure Flix movie from last year. You actually had the better choice seeing Unbroken 2 over that film. But no, like when it's Yeah, the kid's mostly writing code and everything, and he breaks Jason Clarke's hand, and Jason Clarke is on this boat at the end, which just feels like when you're playing a game and just wanting to do horrible things to a character and then killing them. So Anne Hathaway is just forcing booze down his throat to get him on this boat. He just falls down drunk on his broken hand on this ship.
That's kind of how he dies too.
Yeah, by being dragged away by sharks.
They give him the crotch rod or whatever that is that you put a fishing rod in, and so maybe it's symbolic. His dick literally leads him to his death.
Yeah. I absolutely recommend this film.
Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna say? No? Don't go enjoy one of the most entertaining things I've seen. I have no idea if it's for the intended reason that they want it to be entertaining, but it's so entertaining.
It is.
Even before the twist, just the way they're acting and the lines and stuff are just so hokey and so over the top and just so quintessential, like McConaughey and Hathaway just doing their over the top shtick. I mean, it's like, I kind of even thought of like, I guess Hathaway kind of had like the Princess Diaries, like she had a little bit of that shtick, but it's like, now it's like, yeah, man, this is just their normal routine, like just amped up to 1,000,000. Yeah. And it's so much fun.
It's so goddamn entertaining. Like, if you, I don't know what could be crazier this year. Like, I mean, it's only fucking January. I can't say don't go see this movie, because like you said, it's entertaining. You were watching McConaughey being like awesomely McConaughey in this crazy like noir video game movie, and if you just want that sweet spot of like big budget bad movie like Winter's Tale, then you got it with this one.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, even before the twist is revealed, like you said, with everyone still acting crazy. And so in the first 5-10 minutes, I'm thinking in my head before we both turned and were like, I think this is it. But even before then, in the first 10-15 minutes, if one of the thoughts in your head is, I wonder if some of these characters are going to turn out to be robots, if that's a realistic thought that's in your head, which it kind of was in mine, I'm like, you know what? This movie's got me hooked.
Yeah, it's one because so many people were telling you like you gotta go see this movie. That kind of like made me intrigued. I'm like, okay, because it just looks like a dull thriller. Maybe like a little bit of style, but it mostly looked dull. I mean,
it's not dull.
No, those actors especially interest me, but it's like knowing that going in is just like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking like a little like there's got to be some sort of twist or something's got to go really weird in this. So I'm starting to think a little bit. And then, like, when we sort of, like, you think it's all a game, you think it's, like, the kid's game or whatever, but even then I'm like, that's got to be something has to be even weirder than that, and it's like, and the weirder thing is just that they do it right in the middle. I mean, just right in, and here's, like, this physical guy who comes in and is just like, I am the rules. And it's just like, who would write it that way? That's just insane. And what kind of game is this where this would happen? Because, I mean, that was... And the game they set it up to be where it's just a fishing game or like a treasure hunting game or I guess a prostituting game. I mean, all this stuff.
It looks like it is this big open world like Skyrim, but on Amity Island from Jaws.
Yeah. Like, and you fish.
Yeah, where you could probably do like about 1 million different things in it. From fishing to being a gigolo.
So
I love this movie. Yeah. I love this movie so much.
Like the only thing for me is, like I said, when you get to the halfway point, when the twist is revealed, I was like, well, okay, now they can go really crazy. And again, because they're playing it straight, like it's still, to me, it gets a little dull because they were so over the top before. But you're right. It's like looking back, I'm like, God, that just makes it so much funnier. Yeah, it just makes it so much funnier.
I feel like this is the kind of movie that I could talk about for hours. Like, I want to see this again.
Just imagining this game. I just want to see this game this kid is playing and how it works.
I do too. I want to know more about the world of this fucking movie. I want to see more of this shit that is like in the continuity of this movie. Like, I want to get back to Springfield and be like, Sarah, you and Dave have really got to go see this. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything else about this movie. Please, for the love of God, go see this. I feel like I could talk about this movie for hours because I was sitting there watching it like my brain feels like scrambled eggs right now watching this film. I was so glad there were other people in the theater.
Yeah, it's one of those, at first I was kind of bummed because there's like one person like sat really close to us. I'm like, all right, so I can't make like too many comments or anything like that. But then again, after a while, did you do the same thing? I sort of started to just look at other people's reactions and see how they were looking.
I did.
And a lot of them look pretty confused. They were kind of like they just did not know what to take out of this.
I was sitting there. I think my reaction was just kind of like one of those, just sort of like.
Like the first half of this movie, I'm just like I'm loving it. Like even from the credits that seem kind of confused, I'm loving it. And then when it got to the twist, I was like, huh? And I was just like, it just kind of got even bigger. Like, what are we doing?
Oh God, I can't wait to tell Laura about this later on. Oh, man.
Check it out, man. It's a lot of fun.
Go see it. Any other final thoughts about it? Please see this.
Yeah, that's about it. If you're done being a hooker who can't afford hooks, go see this movie. That's my favorite line. Hands down, my favorite line.
That feels like it should be on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
With the fisherman on
The first half of this feels like a Simpsons episode.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks a bunch, everyone, for watching.
Bye.
Take care.